Dear politicians, please stop trying to be influencers. Every once in a while, I'll get on TikTok and I'll see some politician's TikTok that's gone viral. And more often than not, it is a trend. Like they are using a trend to propel their message into virality. And most of the time, I'm not certain what their message is, but I'll see that their TikTok has gone viral and I'll scroll through the comments and I will see person after person asking for something more than a viral moment from their political leaders. And I think that goes to prove that most social media content from politicians is all show and no substance. And please, just stop it. There's one politician, I believe he's from Virginia, and he posts lots of trends on social media. And I find his content kind of amusing in a way, but also really annoying because what is the point of posting you not dancing, but creating a TikTok trend? So let's look at a couple of these TikToks. This is the very first one I saw of his, and it's probably the most annoying. In it, he's on the congressional subway, and he says, OMW, we're on my way to hold this administration accountable. And he's literally dancing. Like, that is the point of the TikTok. And then people left several comments, and one of my favorite comments that somebody commented on his video, not trying to be disrespectful, but less of this shit, more fire on the floor, please. I get wanting to do outreach, but this isn't the action an average American needs from their representative right now. We're approaching no taxation without representation territory here. Do better. And he replied to this person who left a pretty respectful critique of this behavior and video. He replied, Mike, check out my page. I won the John Lewis Award for being one of the members of Congress to speak the most on the House floor. Here's my website too, where you can see all I've been up to. Please go ask anyone on the street right now, which congressman won the John Lewis Award for speaking the most on the House floor? Who the F knows what the John Lewis Award is for speaking the most on the House floor? And your speeches are fine. They're not actually changing things for the better for most Americans. So replying to a person saying, hey, these TikToks are meaningless, they feel silly, and like, what's the point of this? With, I won the John Lewis Award. That's political baseball. Like, no person, I don't even know if somebody in his district, and I think he's from Virginia, I don't even know, like, do you care if your congressman wins the John Lewis Award for talking the most on the House floor? I doubt it. Because how in any way is winning an award like that meaningful for your constituents? Also, I looked up this John Lewis Award. I looked it up because I had never heard of it. Okay, when I type in John Lewis Award Congressman Supermayan, you know what I get? I get post from Blue Sky. I get a post on his first 100 days in office on Instagram, and I get a YouTube video that has the John Lewis Award ceremony. So let's look at this YouTube video. It has 101 views, and I don't even think it's the Congress John Lewis Award, the John Lewis Youth Leadership Award ceremony. So I don't even think that's the award that like he won, but that's what shows up in Google. Let's look at this Blue Sky post. I've been on Blue Sky once. I guess I have to create a Blue Sky account to see this. I'm not going to create a Blue Sky account to look at you getting an award from your fellow if you're the only person who posted about this, which is what it appears to be, then this sounds like a made-up award that your friend gave you. That's really what it sounds like. Can I call this video Politicians Caring About Things That Nobody Else Cares About? The John Lewis Award? John Lewis was a great man. I don't think you making videos on TikTok compares to the stuff that John Lewis went through, former Congressman John Lewis went through for civil rights. And also, this John Lewis Award doesn't even appear to be an actual award. What I can see in the Google searches was recognized with the John Lewis Award by Debbie Dingell for being one of the most active speakers on the House floor. I don't know what this award is, and it's something you posted about. He's only been in Congress for 100 days. Congressman Subramanian, he's on the progressive list of congressmen, and I appreciate that he knows how to go viral on social media. But I don't think going viral on social media is the clout that politicians think it is. I just don't think it is. And I think these political people are more focused on going viral than they actually are on getting stuff done. And when I think about how we're so focused on virality over substance, I think about this video that went recently viral from an Australian Labour leader. And she did like a day of my life as a newly elected sworn in representative. And it was so utterly influencer-like. Like 6 a.m. wake up, 7 a.m. hit the gym, 8 a.m. get to the office, 9 a.m. answer emails, 10 a.m. on my way to a vote. What is the point? Like, why are you trying to make being a politician be an influencer? It was so aggravating and tone deaf, because politicians are literally dealing with issues like life and death. We have an ongoing war in Gaza that is costing the lives of thousands, and you're making little TikToks, and it just, in the US is funding this war. Like, please focus on doing the work over going viral on social media. And I think there's this like race in DC, and not just DC, clearly this Australian politician did the same thing, over who can like have the video that goes viral, who can have the clip that will get remixed on social media. And nothing says this more than Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett's race for the head of the Judiciary Committee. She wanted to be the chair of the Judiciary Committee, and I recently read an article in The Atlantic about her, and she was like making her pitch about why she should be the top Democrat on the Judiciary Committee. And as part of her pitch, she said her pitch was she had the most followers on social media, and her videos racked up thousands and millions of views. And the thing is, I don't see social media actually translating to votes. I don't see people watching a video of their congressman making a TikTok trend about releasing the Epstein files, going out and voting. We very rarely see that. And we know that someone like Zohran Mamdani had an incredible social media game in New York City, but it was actually the boots on the ground that won voters. It wasn't just watching his flashy, well-made videos that got his message across in New York. It was his volunteers on the ground, knocking on doors, spreading the message that Andrew Cuomo was not for New York City. That is the message that won people to Zohran Mamdani. It was making New York affordable again, like making people's lives better. And yes, that message was on social media, and he created really amazing social media videos. But it wasn't just social media that won Zohran Mamdani the vote. And I think reducing politician success to how viral they are is terrible. The only politician that I know of that is truly success driven due to his social media is Donald Trump. And like, do y'all want to be like Donald Trump? I don't think so. Like, Donald Trump is completely show over substance. Like, nothing Donald Trump does is about substance. It's all about the show of it. And like, when he used to go viral with his tweets and like calling Marco Rubio Little Marco in the 2016 race, like calling Ted Cruz Lion Ted Cruz, and saying his wife was like ugly, like all of these like very viral moments, they did trend on social media, and they propelled him to the nomination. But he had years and years of TV legacy behind him. Like, people knew him from TV before he ran for office. And I think being a reality TV star is different than someone trying to use social media to become a social media star and then running for office. I think it's kind of embarrassing how much clout these politicians are putting on their social media. I think it's disrespectful too. You're really treating people like they're not smart enough to handle hard topics. I think of a politician who uses social media well and who got his message across without using trends and like relying on flashy clapbacks, and that is former Congressman Jeff Jackson, North Carolina. He's now the Attorney General of North Carolina, and I always appreciated his social media videos. They were very similar to Zohran Mamdani, where he just sat down and talked policy. And you know, Zohran Mamdani has like a mix of him talking to the camera with incredible visuals. Jeff Jackson didn't have the visuals aspect, but he had the messaging where he just sat down and talked about policy, talked about why he voted for this or that, and how his vote would impact his constituents. And I think that is so important, that you can explain your policy in a few words that not necessarily needs to go viral. Like, Jeff Jackson's videos were not created to go viral, but because people are hungry for truth from their politicians, they are hungry for downright honesty. They're hungry for people to just be honest and upfront with them about what's going on in DC. Jeff Jackson's videos had big reach. And I think that's the same with Zohran Mamdani, that people are hungry for an affordable New York. They want to see what a mayor could change in New York City to make rents go down, to make the cost of groceries cheaper, and to make it better to have an affordable life in New York City. And that's what his videos do. They craft a message about why life is so expensive in New York City, where government is in the way, and what a mayor can do to change that. I don't think that a lot of people in Congress are good at that. And I think this congressman who creates these like funny little videos that go viral on social media they're not really telling us as Americans what he's going to change to make our lives better. Yes, they are taking the top news stories that are trending and turning them into a viral moment. And I think that is the lowest of the low kind of virality. You can take the top trending story and turn it into a viral moment. Anyone can do that, Republican or Democrat. But that doesn't mean you're good at messaging. That just means you're good at chasing virality. And I think we have to be careful that just because somebody gets a lot of views on social media doesn't mean that they're good at messaging. Somebody I think who gets a lot of views on social media who's actually like gets views because he's funny but is actually a terrible politician is Eric Adams. Like Eric Adams gets a ton of views on his videos on social media because his videos are funny, but he's a terrible mayor for New York and he's a terrible politician.
My fellow New Yorkers, it is now my belief that the federal government intends to charge me with crimes.
The bad boy of entertainment is getting to keep the city from the bad boy of politics.
Diddy finally has the key to the city.
New York City is the Athens of America. It's the Istanbul of America. It's the Kyiv of America. It's the Seoul of America. The Tel Aviv of America. It's the Islamabad of America. The Zagreb of America. The Lima of America. Mexico City of America. The Dublin of America. This is a place where every day you wake up, you could experience everything from a plane crashing into our trade center to a person who's celebrating a new business that's open. That's why it's the greatest city on the globe. We are just really happy today to say that we have found our rat czar. It is expensive enough to live in a city with our families and children. We don't need outside tenants like rats in our homes terrorizing us every day. Welcome to our crash revolution.
Just because somebody's videos are viral doesn't mean that people will show up at the polls and vote for them. And it doesn't mean that they're actually doing the work for their constituents. Like, you need to have a mix of good messaging on social media and policy to back it up. You need to show that you're not just all show and no substance. Because I think a lot of people, when we see these videos that go viral on social media, are inherently distrustful of our politicians because so many people have been let down by politicians over and over again that seeing someone dancing on the congressional subway, it's funny, I guess, but the most thing it is disappointing because you're using your energy and time on that and not on actually making life better for your constituents and the people who voted for you. And then you're also bragging about a John Lewis Award. And like, I'm sure you deserved it. I'm sure it's a great award. But telling your constituent, I won this award for speaking the most, when none of us know what you said in those speeches, like those speeches had no impact on me as an American. So why should I care that you won an award for speaking the most on the House floor? It reminds me of Senator Cory Booker, who gave the longest speech in the Senate and broke the record for the longest speech that was formerly held by a super racist guy from South Carolina. Good on Cory Booker for breaking the record. Like, amazing that an African-American senator from New Jersey could do that. What did it do? It did the big, beautiful bill pass. The big, beautiful bill pass that is going to raise the cost of living for most Americans. It's going to cut taxes on the wealthy. It's going to harm our green energy and infrastructure that President Biden passed. And it is going to cut funding for resources that are needed, like Planned Parenthood and affordable reproductive health care in communities that need it. And Cory Booker didn't filibuster that bill. Like, that bill passed and Cory Booker Cory Booker's speech had no change. Like, it impacted nothing. Like, when you give a freaking long speech in Congress, at least let it change something. At least let it slow the wheels of injustice instead of just being a speech. I don't even know what his speech was for other than let me talk a lot and be on your TV screen for a while to get the Democratic message across.
And what does the Democratic Party do? Comply? Allow him? Beg for scraps? No, I demand justice. I will fight for Jersey every day, every night.
I think Democrats know, the Democratic Party knows that they have lost the messaging war. They know that voters were completely captured by the Donald Trump messaging and Republican messaging in general. Like, when voters are asked what's upsetting to them, they say that, the high cost of living and crime and the border. And those key messages were the messages of Donald Trump's campaign and his media blitz on spreading misinformation about what's happening with the American economy and the border and all of that. So I understand that the Democratic Party is struggling to right the messaging ship. They're struggling to reach voters, and they are really throwing every... to some degree, it feels like they are throwing every dart at the wall to try to capture voters back, to try to share the message of the Democratic Party. But the party is incredibly unpopular. Like, most voters disapprove of the Democratic Party. And there are moments that go viral for Democrats. Cory Booker's speech went viral in the news, I would say. I don't know if it actually, like, I saw it on TikTok, like it was on every TikTok live when I'm scrolling through TikTok, but I have a very weird TikTok algorithm, so I don't know if it like actually broke through the conscience of the American voter. Something that did go viral for Democrats, and this was several years ago, was Congressman Jasmine Crockett calling Marjorie Taylor Greene a beach blonde baddie and like insulting her. And Marjorie Taylor Greene had insulted Congressman Jasmine Crockett, and then Congressman Jasmine Crockett insulted her back.
Well, you the one talking about. I
think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
I'm not apologizing.
Well, then
okay,
you're not striking your word.
I am not apologizing.
Now let's go. Come on, guys.
It's me.
Ms. Crockett.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
What now?
Most people know Jasmine Crockett for this exchange. And Jasmine Crockett, in the Atlantic article about her race for the judiciary chairmanship, she specifically cites that as like, I can communicate and I can go viral. I don't want to say that you shouldn't have insulted Marjorie Taylor Greene, because Marjorie Taylor Greene is a terrible person, and kudos to anybody for insulting her. But my qualm with that, and I understand like some voters are like enamored with Jasmine Crockett due to that, and they want her to have leadership positions. But what message does that give to the average voter? And people are going to say, well, Donald Trump insults people and they voted for him. I get that. But they don't just vote for Donald Trump because of its insults. They vote for him because they say he's going to fix the economy, he's going to kick immigrants out, he's going to stop all these wars, he's going to release the Epstein files. Voters didn't just say, oh, he insulted his opponents. Like, that wasn't just the reason. And for Jasmine Crockett, when I think of her campaign for judiciary chair and like her other positions of leadership, it seems to be, I'm good at insulting people, which she did get under Marjorie Taylor Greene's skin. I'm not going to argue that. But I haven't seen a messaging that's centered around policies that will impact people's lives. I know Jasmine Crockett is a civil rights attorney. She has authored bills that would improve the judicial process for African Americans, because the judicial system is flawed. For many people, it's negatively impacts their lives, and it negatively impacts the African American community. Representative Crockett has done great work at the state level in Texas and as a co-author to bills at the national level in order to fix judiciary flaws. But you wouldn't know that if you didn't go read about her record. Like, the average voter doesn't know what she did as a civil rights attorney and a civil rights congressional leader to actually change the judiciary system to make it better. They know her more from her insults to Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I'm sorry, but insults do not a platform make. Donald Trump's campaign in 2016 and 2020 and 2024 is full of insults. It's full of mudslinging and viral McDonald's serving moments. But it also had a lot of policy presented to people. And I mean, his policies are terrible, summed up in kicking all immigrants out. That is the core of his policy from the moment he went down the escalator in New York and was like, I'm running for president in 2015. People know what he wanted to do as president. They can claim they didn't know, but people knew what he wanted to do as president. And they thought it would fix the economy. They thought it would fix their life to kick all the immigrants out. I don't think it fixes anybody's life. In fact, it's made all of our lives a lot worse. But when it comes to viral moments for Democratic politicians, they very rarely go viral for actual policies. They go viral for incredible sound bites that get spread on social media. But very few Democratic politicians are actually known for their policies. One Democratic politician has an entire campaign that had viral moments, flashy visuals, incredible social media, and also was policy driven, and that's Zoran Mandani. And the reason that Fox News can call him a socialist, because he actually talked about socialist policies on the campaign trail. He talked about freezing rent. He talked about government-run grocery stores. He talked about things that would improve the lives of people in New York City, and he didn't rely on flashy social media moments to drive his narrative. And unfortunately, a lot of Democratic campaigns seem to be relying on I'm young. That I've seen 2 candidates now running in Democratic primaries whose campaigns rely on I'm young. There was that young woman from the Kamala Harris campaign in Arizona, Deja Fox, and she was running on I'm young and young people deserve a place. No policy, I'm young. That's terrible. And she lost. And there's someone who's running against Jerry Nadler in New York, and his campaign video that I watched was Democrats die in office, so I'm young and I'm going to run for office.
The Democratic Party is dying. We're losing votes.
The last 8 members of Congress who have died, all of them are Democrats.
The suffocating gerontocracy.
Older incumbents should step aside.
Losing elections.
Why are Republicans doing a better job of electing young leaders?
Losing our democracy.
Democrats are not taking this issue seriously, but they need to.
And the leaders who got us here are refusing to retire with devastating consequences.
Roe versus Wade is overruled.
In the last 5 months, 3 House Democrats passed away, allowing Trump's billionaire bill gutting health care and food stamps for millions of people to go through by 1 vote. Our leaders need to answer the call now, and they aren't. So today, I'm respectfully asking my Congressman Jerry Nadler to consider retiring. I appreciate his 50 years in office. I grew up voting for him. But we need new leaders to meet this moment. Because we can't wait. We can't wait to actually fight Trump, end corruption, ban corporate PAC money, impose term limits, build more housing, and serve our neighbors in need. I'm Melkind, and I'm running for Congress. Because we can't wait.
I'm young is not a policy. Kudos to young people. We need more young people in politics. But telling a voter, I'm young, elect me, the voter is going to say, what's in it for me? What's in it to have a young person in office? How is a young person going to benefit me more than an old person? An old person brings experience, and they've actually benefited the district in the past because they know how to get, dollars back to the district that may have improved my life. Whereas you as a young person are going into that office with none of those connections, and actually the district is going to struggle if you don't know how to develop those connections. Zoran Mandani is young, but he did not focus on his age when he ran in the New York City primary. And I think that was it. He used youthful policies, and everyone you don't have to say, I'm young. People know you're young when you're running for office. Your face is clearly younger than the old person in the race. So you don't have to focus on your age because voters are not dumb. They know that you're young. So why are candidates like Deja Fox and other young Democrats focusing on age? Because they know that people are frustrated with the incumbents, but they don't know how to channel that frustration into voters voting for change. Why would a voter vote for change if that change is just gonna swap out the ages of the candidates? If that change is I'm better at TikTok than they are, if that change is I could go viral more than they can. I don't care if my congressman can go viral. I care that he's voting for my rights and he's voting to make my life better. And actually my congressman is old and doesn't vote for any of those things because I live in Northeast Florida. He's both old, not viral, and actually kind of a terrible leader. And I am really hopeful that we have a Democrat run in 2026 who actually is committed to Northeast Florida and not just a name on a ballot, but somebody I can go and door knock for, and I can sell what they offer because it is worth voting for. And I think that is what a lot of these viral moments and these trends that politicians are seeking doesn't translate into door knocking. I can't knock on someone's door and say, hey, did you see this viral clip did you see their viral clip on social media? Vote because they can go viral. And that's basically what you're offering when you chase social media clout. And I understand, it's fun to be an influencer. It's fun to go viral. But we need more substance over virality. We need more substance over social media clout. And most people, and I'm going to say it right now, none of you politicians are the exception. Most people cannot turn clout into actual policy change. So show me how you're going to change policies. Actually work to change policies and let your work speak for itself. I would rather hear about the job you're doing than see you go viral over a dance, or even see you go viral for an insult you shouted at your fellow congressman in DC, because insults aren't really making my life better. Not really. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. I know this might be controversial. I kind of this might be a little bit controversial, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to post this while I'm in London. I'm pre-filming. I'm going to post this while I'm in London, so if it makes people mad, I'm going to be in the English countryside, and it will make you mad. I will be offline. I will not be caring. So let me know what you think. Who's somebody elected in elected office that you think actually does good at social media and is not just clout chasing, but actually is great at presenting policy and showing the work they're doing while in elected office? Because I would love to see it. I would love to elevate those kind of people and strategize over how more elected Democrats can do that when it comes to messaging and using social media to connect with voters. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all all around the internet. Till next time, see ya.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service.